Hello, everyone. My name is John Cole, and welcome to the Daily Brand, where we speak about people that have put in work daily to make their brands amazing. We're storytelling, exclusive, and don't forget, Daily Brand. It's what we give you every day. I'm here with an amazing individual and a phenomenal artist. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Chihota, aka Chief Capone.
Word.
So,
Thanks a lot, man.
You good?
Nice to check you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are things, bro?
Everything cool,
I
man.
see you looking spriff. And I like them jeans. I just might take them off you. You know what I mean?
Hey, bro, I gotta watch myself around
I
you.
know. Just walking like, where my pants?
No, no worry. We
But
got
it's
you.
a
We
pleasure
got
to
you.
have you on the Daily Brand,
Yeah.
bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pleasure to
So
be here.
we're just going to cut into it.
Straight.
Tell us where the name Chief Capone came from.
So Chief Capone, that is my old school name. I first started off as Tone Capone.
Tone Capone.
Yeah, that's in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Tone Capone, get busy. Yeah, that was
Oh,
my
all right,
thing.
all right.
I used to call myself the gangster of rhyme, not the gangster of crime. Because Al Capone. I just watched the Untouchables at that time.
All right.
And I was
right.
kind of like into the whole mafia thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And then gangster of rhyme. So that was the Tone Capone. And then a few years later, I met Metaphysics and Chioni, so we started A Peace of Ebony. And then since we're doing now African content, now we are representing the motherland. So I became the chief.
Oh, you became the chief.
Yeah, and fast forward 30 years later, I kind of rebranded, and so I joined the two together and became Chief Capone.
Oh, all right, that's good. So let's start off with how your childhood, right? Because you have to be able to, as a artist, you need inspiration, aspiration, and all these things for you to create what you have today. Tell us about your childhood, my brother.
Well, kind of crazy. I was born in Tanzania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to a Zimbabwean father and Soviet mother.
Soviet.
I say Soviet because
That's during the time.
during that time it was all one country.
Oh, yes.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes, yes.
And now they're at war. Like, 'cause my mom was half Ukrainian.
Oh.
Her mom was Ukrainian and her father was Georgian, which was
Oh.
where Stalin was from, Georgia.
Oh, yeah. There has to be. Yeah.
But she was born, I think, in Moscow, in Russia.
Oh, wow.
So it's
And
hard to
that's
start
during-
explaining.
Yeah, you don't know, but I get you though, because
Mm.
that time it was more of a touch and go for a lot of things. Because I think it was what World War II.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did your mom meet your dad? Where? It's
So
the where.
yes. So during the liberation struggle, my grandmother was involved in in the freedom fight, in the fight for that. Yeah.
Right.
So at one stage they had to relocate to Tanzania because it got dangerous and
Oh yeah.
So my father was there. He was went over there with the family, and he got a scholarship to go to university in Russia
Oh.
to become a journalist. He started PR and journalism and all that. So he met my mom there. He was at Moscow State University, and in Independence. Well, first we went to the States after that, and a few other places, and then Independence we came back to Zimbabwe. But we had gone to Tanzania before that, and I was born there.
So you basically just bounced around.
Bounced around a lot,
mom
but
and
in
dad
1980 we came to relocate in Zim.
Oh, okay.
Properly.
And that's when A Peace of Ebony.
I mean, from there, like my dad passed away in about 84, so he had just come, and then 4 years later he passes away. So we've got a single mother who's
Type of
and she's got four kids, and I think about a year later I got a scholarship to go to Russia. So at 10 years old, I get put on a plane by myself. And off I go to this boarding school in Russia for 5 years.
And I think that was you've got to go.
I've got to go to Russia. You got to drink the vodka. So I went there, and I used to come back for holidays, maybe twice a year or whatever. But 5 years was in Russia.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And man. And another crazy thing is that I was there during the fall of the Soviet Union.
So you actually you were in there.
When we
read about you were there.
I was there, and when I got there in 86, 1986, and it was nice for the first few years, and I think on the fourth year, it started now falling apart. That's when you had the Cold War and Mikhail Gorbachev and Reagan, and they were doing their talks and everything, and they stopped the nuclear war and whatever that was about to pop off. And the Russian ruble, the infrastructure started crumbling. So it was just like how we had with the bearers checks and the whatever. So it was like the currency, the inflation got high. It got up to like $1 to 3,000 rubles or something like that. Same thing. What was happening in Zim back in 2008 or whatever started happening there. So I decided, no, to hell with this. I used to come back, and Zim was nice at that time, like the 80s, 90s. So I was like, no, I'm going back home. So in 1990, I just decided that no, that's enough, and I came back.
So by all means necessary, you are a part of history in terms of the Zimbabwean liberation struggle, the Soviet side of things. You're just a mixture, and you're historically part of also the history of the Soviet Union.
Yes, exactly.
That is a very interesting life right there.
True, yeah, true.
So okay, fast forward, you're back in the 90s, you said. Right. What then? Because people don't just meet, So how did you meet Chiwoniso and Meta? Because I know Meta, and I have met Chiwoniso. So how? Because three people, different worlds. Right. How did you guys come together? Because that's the je ne sais quoi that people want to know. When you guys doing something.
No, it's a wonderful. It's a wonderful story about how we met. So I get back in 1990, and I party around a little bit. I got two older brothers, so we hit the scene hard. I'm coming from Russia.
Turtles.
It was Aki's.
It was Aki's, right?
Aki's afternoon session. Park Lane. Peter Johns used to play at Park Lane.
Peter was on fire.
There was a whole lot of house parties. Were like really the in thing. At one stage, people rather go to house parties than clubs. It became fashionable just to rent houses and throw parties, move in the bar, move in the DJs. Flyers. Those days it was the paper flyers, and you give them out. So a lot of partying went on when I came back. I mean, I'm 15 years old, moving on to 16. And after a bit of partying, I went to Peter House. That failed. I was just a naughty youngster. I was like, no, not having this, and so I decided to go to a college. So I managed to convince my mom to send me to a college. I really wanted to go to Spaces because Spaces College was the one.
It was like whoever went to Spaces, you had that.
And there was a it crowd.
All the farming, you know what I mean?
It was nice, man. Nice. You didn't have to wear uniform, and it's in town, and
with your FUBU.
Everybody, it's like a fashion show. It's like, what I mean? Everybody looking good.
You had to be looking the part, to be looking the part.
Doing your thing. So I didn't manage to get to Spaces. That one didn't happen. But I managed to get into this new college, Xhosa, which had just opened up. Xhosa College.
Oh, right at the corner, right? So
it was right opposite Girls High. No, Queen Elizabeth. And then next to Queen Elizabeth was Girls High. And then we were Xhosa College. Oh, okay. So I was in a nice place. You know what I mean? Yeah.
With them nice honey.
Exactly.
Nice place with them nice honey.
You're 16. What you thinking about at that time? I was in the mix. So on registration day, I'm there to register, and there's like about 20 kids or so, all looking like a bunch of social misfits. Everybody that's trying to run.
It's there. Chief Capone.
All these kids that don't want to be in the system. You know what I'm saying? So obviously. So we're there, and the registrar is nowhere to be seen. The office is closed, and everybody's in a queue there, waiting. Start getting bored. People start talking to each other. So behind me is this guy. Turn around. Hey, yo, what's up, man? What's your name? My name's Tony Chihota. It's like, yo, man, I'm Herbert Schwamborn. Hey, cool. So what do you do? I'm a rapper. Hey, what do you do? Hey, I'm a rapper too. Hey, so bust a flow. So I bust a flow, he busts a flow, and we're like, whoa, man. Hey, you're tight, bro. Hey, nice one. Anyway, check this out. So we start going one for one, back and forth. And next thing, there's the whole crowd of students around us, and we just, having this amazing cipher, where we just, we had a full rap session going on there. The first minutes we met, we already had like
it's on.
Yeah, and that was metaphysics,
Yeah, and Meta, I was with him a couple of years ago when he came from Germany. We were doing Harare Children's Home. He was a judge, and love his locks. He loves his locks, and he's just doing his thing. And I've known Meta for a very long time. We actually did a music video together at some point. But where does Chiwoniso come into this to play?
So about 2 weeks later, Meta comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, I've hooked up a studio. I've hooked up some studio time."
All right.
So I'm like, "What? Okay. Whoa!" Because those days, studio was like there was only 3 or 4 studios in the whole of the country, really.
Yeah. Diamond is one of them, right?
At that time, there was Shed Studios. Right. There was Sienna Sounds. ZBC had one, but so it's very few studios.
Oh, okay.
It being in the studio, and they were expensive,
brother.
I
know what you mean.
The average Joe could not afford a studio.
In a music
a music. We'll get to that. Yes. That's a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
So anyway, we go to the studio, and there's Keith Farquharson.
Yeah, Keith. Yes.
So Keith Farquharson, as you know, was the guy from Ilanga. He had been with Andy Brown and Don Gubo and them in Ilanga, which was a super group. Then, obviously, I think they split up, and then he was looking for something. So we ended up in Keith's studio, and he's got amazing stuff. He had just got new equipment and stuff. So we started recording a song. Just put on a thing and started rapping. So after the session, the dude is like, "Yo, man, you guys really got something here, I want to record you guys an album for free."
Just like that.
Just like
He's
that.
Like, listen, I got new equipment. I got new blood. Let's do some
Let's
do
this,
Yeah.
So we start recording. And then about a month or 2 into the recording, we were at Fantasyland.
Oh, yes.
You remember, it had just opened.
It was the place to be.
Not the one that we see today.
Yeah, okay.
When Fantasyland opened,
was video games, the joystick games,
the joystick games, the arcade. They had the pool, and just everything. Music was blaring. All the youngsters used to hang out there after school. So one day, when obviously the rap ciphers were happening, and one day we're there in a cipher, and there's loads of youngsters around. And me and Meta, we now, because we the recording artists now, so we the flyouts, we
NWA
we the top dogs, so we're going for it, and then out of nowhere this boom, this heavy beatbox comes from nowhere, and it's banging, and everyone's just kind of looking around trying to see, hey, where's this coming from? Who's this? Who's that? So eventually the crowd parts, and then there's this short, petite black girl, and she's the one that's she's beatboxing like crazy, And so, whoa, we check this out. Anyway, we carry on rapping. Now she's beatboxing, and we blow the crowd away, So after that, we go up to her and we're like, yo, you're so dope. Where do you learn how to beatbox like that? What's your name? She's like, my name is Chiwoniso, Okay. And I can rap too. So we're like, you rap too? Right, bust a rhyme. So she busts a dope rhyme, and we're like, whoa. And she's like, yeah, and I sing. Then she starts singing.
And you're like,
then she's like, yeah, and I play the mbira. And then at that point, Meta and I just looked at each other, and we were just like,
she gotta come. She gotta be.
And it was the silent, the unspoken.
Yeah, the bro code.
You're in the code.
Coming with us.
And so we turn around and we're like, yo, check this out. We're in the studio right now, recording our album. How would you like to come and join us? So she's like, just tell me when and where. So 3 days later, Chiwoniso Maraire walks into the studio with Mbira. And man, that was it. Straight up, we started. She started playing a Mbira, little melody. She plays it. We're like, yo, man, let's put a hip hop beat on that. Start. Okay. And I'm there in the corner writing. Yo, I got something. Into the booth, spit my verse. You couldn't stop how I'm coming, because I'm coming back wild from the motherland with a wicked new style. Peace of Ebony, you know what I mean? And I'm da-da-da-da-da. And then she goes into the booth. She sings, this is a call from the motherland. And whoa, next thing, we dropped it. We did that song in a couple of hours. Boom. you know. And anyway, 6 months later, we dropped the album, and that same song from the native tongue went straight to number one after about a week, and it was the first Zimbabwean hip hop local song on number one.
Yep. It wasn't as easy, eh?
Yeah.
It wasn't as easy because it was different facets, different ways. You had if Peter Jones was not playing your song, then your song wasn't popping.
And now Peter Johns, he didn't mess with like the local stuff.
Exactly.
You know?
I know.
PJ was like, he was strictly international. You know what I'm saying?
Because I remember like listening on radio, you know, when you're young and you hear Peter Johns coming through, you know, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have all these things happening. And then you have you guys.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
It was amazing how the local DJs just embraced it, you know. It was just because like it was a long shot. Yeah. Bira and hip hop, it was, you know,
in the dark.
It's never been done. Mm-hmm. It's never been done in the world. You know what I'm saying? So the way they embraced it was just mad. They just it just took off. It was infectious. The whole country embraced it. First the DJs. Every DJ on radio wanted to play that, you know.
Yeah,
they were playing it. We went straight onto the charts. 3 of the songs. The second one, Pretend It Never Happened, knocked the first one to number 2 and became it knocked native tongue.
You guys on that Michael Jackson level.
And then the Pretend It Never Happened became it broke the record for the longest reigning number 1 hit in local radio history.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. It was on number 1 for like 6 months or something.
And he just kept knocking out the ballpark.
Knocking out. Then the third one got to number 3. And so we had the one.
You're alternating between 1, 2, 3. You guys are on the podium doing the things.
Yeah.
Like today, today we're doing. And that's the thing though. But there was a stigma to hip hop during that time because, you know, in the 80s, 90s, there was Tupac and there was gang violence, there was Suge Knight, and there was an attachment to hip hop during that era, you know. But again, let's not forget breakdancing, because my dad and my uncles were breakdancers during that period, and they would tell me stories of how they would, you know, get into, you know, a club like Turtles, and then they'd be like pop pop,
yeah.
But at the same time, there was the story of A Peace of Ebony. Wherever there was a hip hop spoken about, you guys were attached to that. So it didn't matter where you came from. Skies, you came from Gwelu. At that time it was called Gwelu, I think. It was Gweru, Harare. Yeah. There was always A Piece of Ebony spoken about. How was it during that era that hip-hop was taken in? Because obviously the radio DJs are fantastic. Yeah. But how did the parents take it in? Because
you know, Piece of Ebony, because it was, like you said, it was a tricky time, because actually in hip-hop there was different elements in hip hop at the time. There was the gangster rap,
exactly,
which they couldn't play on radio, and you know, they had to censor it somehow. And then there was, you know, you had the De La Souls and you know, Daisy Age rap, and you know, they were kind of okay. I'm gangster. I don't mess with that. You know what I mean? Oh, yo, I'm this and I don't mess with gangster. And then you had the Afrocentric era that was going on there. With Tribe Called Quest and you know, Africa Bambata, you know, different groups like that, Jungle Brothers, you know. So there was that, and it's amazing that Piece of Ebony came out, and we somehow managed to fit into all of those, you know, like all of those,
transform.
And amazingly enough, we became a household type of names, because whole families used to get down to Piece of Ebony, like in the, you know, they'll listen to the radio and they'll be like, Gogo is dancing to it, moms is dancing, the kids are dancing. You
I'm
felt
one of those kids. My mom, you're like, okay, get down.
And that's where you got your moves, your danger moves,
bro. That's where I got the moves. And in a fascinating way, there was a breaking of a barrier, because during that era also, we had a divide amongst mixed race people and, you know, the Africanism side of things, you know, and here you 3 people from different backgrounds come together to create A Piece of Ebony.
Yes.
And then once that's done, let's talk about, did you guys tour at that period of time?
No, not really. What happened was, when we came out, we had a launch at Harry Magoli's Hall. We opened up for a lot of the international acts that came
All right.
That's where we used to go on, because we never really did the small stages. We like straight to the big stages. Yeah. So we did Beats International came through.
Okay.
Just Be Good to Me. Remember that hit? Yeah, it was like the #1 hit at the time. So they came through. We opened up for them. Then Soul to Soul came. Back to Life.
I remember that time. Yes.
Yeah.
My dad attended that.
yeah. We opened up for them. A whole bunch of other people we did. So we did those, and then it didn't take long for us to get signed up to Gallo Records in South Africa, which was the biggest
at that time
in Africa. Yeah, we had actually gotten, because we through our sent our stuff overseas and to all the and a lot of record companies were interested, BMG and Sony and all those guys. And we really wanted to get an international deal. But then the best one that we got, like a concrete solid deal, was from Gallo Records in South Africa, which was Brenda Fassie and Lucky Dube and,
Yeah, and part of that league, man.
That league,
Brenda wasn't small. Brenda was popping.
Yeah.
And she was just out there doing her thing, and Lucky Dube was changing everything. Oh, you have some?
Yeah. So Brenda. We'll talk about Brenda. Yeah. So that's me and
my guy. You like, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Check it out, guys. Check it out.
That's me and Brenda there.
Just like who yellow board. Right?
She was
this is the book.
Yeah.
The beginning.
The beginning,
190 pages. I'm correct, yes.
Yeah.
190 pages. 86 on this one, but the PDF has 190.
Yeah.
So the institution, the showdown, the beginning. Tony Chihota, you guys should get it. And you need to send me one of these. I got you. At some point.
So off we went to South Africa. Gallo Records.
Did you guys fly or you went by bus?
So what happened first was our producer Keith came up and he was like, "Yo, Gallo Records wants us. They're sending a film crew,
all right,
to come and film a video, of one of our tracks." So, and you know how videos were those days.
Brother, it was not funny, man. It took a lot of money.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of components. Even if there was it's different from now, where you just like shoot, let's go. Get it together.
Yeah.
But back then
there was film crews.
A lot of
I mean, unless if you wanted the ones where the owns by Mvenge or whatever, but by the Jura walls. Yeah, they're always by a Jura wall.
Or you in a green screen and Eric Knight
and with some really terrible graphics.
But it worked those days. With Tasso and them and what's his name? Chichu Sasa. I always meet him in South Africa, but he's back now. So those days, shooting a music video wasn't as easy as now. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of funding had to jump into.
Oh yeah.
Because you had the editor, and even when you were done shooting, you still had to go to ZBC. And those days we don't have Trace Africa and all these little components. But if you're ever on Channel O, this time, like
Channel O. Yeah, I think Channel O actually came out just after Peace of Ebony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had to be there to witness it.
Yeah.
And now, I'm in the industry, right? And I want to get down to the dark side, right? I know people have listened to the light side, the dark side of the industry.
Right.
You eventually came into a place that you popped into and took you a while to get out of. Let's talk about the crime and the drugs. What happened?
Well, I'll give you context to that because it's always good to know how it led up, the events that lead up to those kind of things, So the film crew comes from South Africa. Right. It's got the hottest director, and we shoot this amazing video. We've got African warriors dancing on, like, you know what I mean, looking like Shaka Zulu, Little Kingdom stuff. You know what I mean, and got models dancing, on the mountains, and then we rapping and da. And the video comes out. We now that's when we went to South Africa, is when the video was ready, because they went back, edited it, and then they flew us out there now to go and sign the deal and watch the video and go on the promotional rounds. And so when we got to South Africa, it was like the red carpets rolled out, BMW to use, a mansion to stay in, and we stayed there for like a month promoting the album on TV, radio, big parties, champagne, drugs, everything rolled out at that stage.
You can
know what I mean?
Women, bro.
Yeah.
You can chuck
bro, that models, bro, on on speedboats. Like
it was tougher.
Yeah,
the choices were tough.
Yeah, because there's this place where they threw us like a barbecue, a welcome barbecue, and it was a record company industry party for us, for the new new signees. And there's models, and next thing we're on a speedboat.
Not just any models,
dude.
Pow!
Bang,
bang,
ba boom.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, dude,
Tony comes in,
and there you are, and there you are, 16 years old,
Thank
dude.
You don't know shit.
Yeah, you're living.
Sorry for saying that. I know what you mean. No.
Living the life, my brother. So we're like, where do we sign?
You're like,
bring it on.
Just let me sign.
Can
I? Because
where's the pen? Can I get
Mandy's over there. She wants to have a conversation. Yeah, go ahead.
So signed on the dotted line, man, and so cool. Our promotional round's over, so they say to us, you guys, we want to take you guys on a South African tour, end of the year, South African tour, followed by a world tour next year. Right. So go home, get ready. You know what I'm saying? Get yourselves ready. You know what I mean? Because it's on. We're taking the world. So we go back, we come back to Zim, and now we're on top of the world, you know what I'm saying? Like we're on another league altogether. Peace of Ebony is the biggest to ever come out of Zim. Yeah. So time goes by. We start now getting restless. It's almost end of the year. So we start hearing things. Like I go to this party in Bulawayo, and I meet this friend of mine from Italy. So he's like, dude, I just came back from Europe. I bought your CD in Geneva in the duty-free shop in Switzerland. So I'm like, dope. Wow, cool. So off we go to Victoria Falls the one time, and then these two British girls are hiking, backpackers, so we stop to give them a lift, and we're playing Peace of Ebony in the car. And one of them from the back says, excuse me, is that A Peace of Ebony playing? So my friend is like, yeah, this is the guy from Peace of Ebony. So they're like, yeah, right. So I, at that stage I turned around and I'm like, yeah, it's me. And then I had the CD. So I pulled the CD out the thing and I put my face there and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it.
It's so like, give me him, me. It's me.
So they're like, no, we're fans. We bought your CD in London.
Just bought your stuff in London.
We love you guys. So we're like, whoa, okay, London, Geneva, So I'm, me and Meta like, so, dude, I think it's time let's go to Joburg, man. Let's go to do the thing, get this tour started, So we decide to pack a bag each and jump on the bus, and we were with Legwan Shaki.
Oh yes.
So Legwan had by that time, because Legwan was our homie. But he wasn't on the album. So by that time, we linked up with Legwan. We're like, dude, jump in, bro. Let's roll. You Piece of Ebony, you know what I mean now. So Legwan joined A Piece of Ebony at that stage. And so boom, we jumped on a bus, 3 of us, and we hit Joburg. Not much bucks, but we hit there. So the second time now, we got there on a Friday night. And we had timed it nicely, by the way. We knew what landing for the weekend. So we land there on the Friday night, and we got a few coins left because the journey ended up causing all our sheets. All right. So we get there, find a payphone, put the sheets in, and we're like, couldn't find anybody. All our friends are out. Then we try the record company. Eventually, we managed to get the number for the CEO of the record company, who was at a party. He had left a forwarding, those days, no cell phones, Get
someone to make sure, pager.
So finally we get, this guy comes on the phone. We can hear beats in the background. He's at a party. And we're like, so, hey, Steve, how you doing? So he's like, yeah, who's this? Piece of Ebony. Yeah, we in town. Oh, Piece of Ebony. Oh, you in Joburg. Cool. What you guys doing here? So we're like, well, we actually came to see you guys, come see what's happening with the tour, get things started. And well, you guys should have called first, it's not really a good time, So So we're like, oh, okay, well, do you think could you send somebody to pick us up? Because, like we're kind of stranded here, we're in downtown Joburg. So it's like, no, I'm sorry, dude. Nothing I can really do right now. I'm at a serious party. I'm very busy. But listen, tell you what, why don't you come to the office on Monday and, we'll talk then. Okay, all right, see you, bye. Gotta go.
Click. And those days it was real. Click was real. Click.
So dudes are waiting there. Hey, what did he say? What did he say? Like, bro, he says we should come to the office on Monday.
And it's a Friday.
And it's a Friday night. And we've got 5 rand in our pocket or something like that. We've got no bags. So, we go to the little park that they have there, and we sit down and we like start trying to think, no, what the hell do we do now? So, I don't know who, some clever on tuned, hey, let's do what we do best. Hey, what's that? Let's go party. Let's find a party, yo.
We go and
let's go boots, and then we'll see what we do from there. You know what I mean? So we decided, okay, let's go to Pink Cadillac. So Hillbrow was the place to be those days. It was still dangerous. I mean, not as it is now, but it was still badass, but it was people used to party in Hillbrow, and there was this club called Pink Cadillac, the Pink Cadillac. That was like you 3 times. Hey, yeah. And even before we ever went to Johannesburg, growing up, you used to hear stories about the Pink Cadillac.
All right.
So we decided, and we had gone there on our, promotional tour, that we had done before. So we're like, hey, let's go to the Pink Cadillac. Now to get to the Pink Cadillac was like,
it was a trek.
It was from downtown Joburg. You have to go up the hill to Hillbrow.
Cross the Newton. Is it the Newton?
Yeah.
The bridge.
Yeah.
And get up.
Through some, you know what I mean? Yeah. Grimy spallers. So at that point, we decided, these backpacks here, they got to go. So we just, whatever rigs we had that we wanted to keep, we didn't take much with us. We just put on. So now, threw away the bags. Yeah. All the hoodies, Timberlands. And we're stomping up that hill, and I was actually walking out of our way. So managed to get up to Hillbrow unscathed. And as we round the corner to Pink Cadillac, bro, the line is going from around the corner of the queue to get in there. We go to the front of the thing, and then we like, yo, Peace of Ebony. So one of them was like, yeah, can we see so-and-so? The first luck hit us. The manager was there, and he was a super fan. So he comes out, and he's like, Peace of Ebony, you own it here. Joe. Inside, we go into the VIP, champagne, honeys. They start playing our tune in the club. You know what I mean? Next thing we back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Right. But nobody knows that these ones are stranded. Like, wow. Yeah. So later on, don't ask me how we ended up outside this hotel, 11-story hotel. Strip club on the ground floor. On the first floor, there's a strip club called the Summit Club. And we end up outside there, and we're talking to these 2 beautiful Zulu strippers, And they're like, you guys are from Peace of Ebony, what? Because by that time, our video was on, it was on Mnet and so we're like, yeah. And they're like, what are you guys doing here? Do you smoke weed? So we're like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, come upstairs. So next thing, we're in this hotel room with these strippers smoking weed, and we're partying, and we're getting down. And they're like, yo, you guys stay as long as you want. So we partied that weekend, a heavy weekend. Monday morning, found us sitting in the CEO's office, babalazed. And this guy comes now, and he sits down on his desk, and he's like, right, guys, so what can I do for you?
What can you do? What do you mean, what you can do? I'm here. Run me my money.
There's no more of that. Hey, you're welcome anytime. No, it's now, what can I do for you guys? The tones change. So we're like, no, hey, yo, so, it's coming up time for the tour. You guys said, so we just wanted to come and see, be of use and just help out and just get things going. We're really ready to go. We hear the CDs are doing well. People in Switzerland, England, it's all happening. So, yeah. So it's like, no, I mean, things are going okay, but you guys should have called first, we would have let you know that things are not really going so well on, budget side. The industry right now is taking a plummet, and we got some artists that that. It started giving us all these excuses and
record label shenanigans.
We've had to postpone the tour. So yeah, so we're like, oh, okay, so how about maybe an allowance, and then we can start doing tours and promoting the album, get really things going. There's other ways to raise money and just do shows and whatever. He threw that aside as well, and then he dropped the bombshell. He was like, have you read your contract?
Brother.
So, whoa, that's when we knew, oh, no. Yeah, we've been hit. So it's like, yeah, this, that, fine print, this, that. We're not responsible for you guys. Wow. What we can do is, you guys just have to be patient. We can pay for you guys to go back home, and, we'll let you know. We'll call you next year. So we were like, we weren't having that. So we were like, I know, to hell with this later. So we decided now we were going to hit Joburg, and we we're going to take it, by force. We're going to do it ourselves. We did it once, we'll do it again. We couldn't come back home with, our legs tucked between our, our tails between. Yeah. So anyway, so we like, let's hit Joburg. So off we went back to the Summit Club and moved in with our strippers.
You're there, you love, huh? With the Zulu gang.
Yeah.
All right.
So we moved in with the honeys, and we started, first thing we did was start DJing and rapping at the club downstairs, the strip club, we moved into that place nicely. So Summit Club was a hotel where 11 stories, strip club on the thing, and the rest of the hotel was just strippers, drug dealers, hookers, and Johns.
It was
just party people
in the 11 floors.
Exactly. That's what it was. It was Sodom and Gomorrah. and so we move in there, and we are partying, and after a few weeks, now I'm doing the hard drugs, I'm doing coke, I'm doing all sorts of stuff, and I'm listening to a lot of gangster rap, because remember, Tone Capone is still there,
Capone.
There's the chief, and then there's Tone Capone.
Yeah, two different individuals.
Yeah,
one singularity.
So Tone Capone is in his element, and eventually I started dealing. It wasn't too much of a big step for me to become a dealer.
Sure.
Get my first stash and make my first wad on my first night in the game. I was like, damn, this is the life. So I get into that game, and eventually I become one of the top.
You actually become Al Capone.
Yeah. Become one of the main suppliers.
Say hello to my little friend. All right.
And then obviously a pimp as well. What are you gonna do? So
I even say what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? You what's that our boondog? You got to slap. Cat Williams. You know what I mean? So you were a pimp, you were a drug dealer, you were a user, you were like,
I was a gangster rapper,
talented,
whatever.
In that direction.
Yeah.
And everything is just there. It's you exposed to it.
Yeah. And I'm 17 years old.
See, now that's even crazier. You haven't even hit 18. You have you're there with a passport, but okay. So
that's the dark side, and that's how it began. I mean? Yeah.
So in that respect, you dated. Obviously, you had to date a stripper. You know what I mean? Because you then have these. You have the 304s, as they call them now, 304s, and you're pimp daddy Tony. You're doing what you do. Yeah. You had to survive. Yeah. You're selling drugs, you're using at the same time, getting high on your own supply, as they say.
Well, I was. That's the thing. I was getting high on my own supply. So I can't say I was a terribly good dealer.
Okay. So now we're moving forward. You're standing on the premise of you in Joburg. You're a hardcore drug dealer. You're a hardcore rapper. You're a hardcore pimp. You're a hardcore summiteer, on 11 floors. But there's a point in time in your life where you say, but you know what? This is not what I want.
Well, what happened was the cops kicked down the door the 5 a.m. in the morning the one time, and then boom, we got raided by the drug squad.
All right.
You know. So next thing we were carted off. This was me, by the way. Now, I mean, metaphysics and them were, you know, still, you know, living the life, but you know, pretty much sticking to the right side of the law.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, we got carted off into prison. I thought I was gonna be released, but a friend of mine had 700 pills on him.
That's a
You
lot.
know,
Yeah, that was a lot.
yeah. So we all got taken in, and next thing I know, we're standing in front of the magistrate, and they're talking in Afrikaans, and Deep Kloof prison, 1 month sentence. So next thing I know, I'm in a truck
Off.
going to Deep Kloof prison, Soweto, Sun City prison.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is not like a place you want to be, eh?
No, man. It's
foreigner.
like, dude, like it's crazy, man. As soon as the
You know
the truck,
it's real.
not even to get to the prison, the truck, as soon as those doors closed and the truck started moving from the courthouse to the prison, people are sitting nicely there, and you know, next thing these dudes just stand up. They were sitting on the floor, and they just start. This pandemonium breaks out, and people are. The gangs are now.
It's a gang war.
Yeah, in the truck until the main gang wins, and then everybody else has to sit on the floor of that truck.
Well, you're on the winning.
And those are because when the truck started, when everybody's loaded, everyone's going for the nice seats, you know.
Oh, right.
You know, and then these ones are just humbly going straight and sitting down on the ground. So now that truck got moving, those dudes get off the ground and then
It's on.
everyone on the floor, then they take the seats now.
Yep.
And they're loading over the lesser mortals, you know.
You are now mine.
Yeah, so you're sitting there now.
And you're a foreigner, you don't know the language.
Hey, to make it worse, you know.
So whatever they're saying, you can't get it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I was with my homies who were South African, so.
No, so there was a translation.
Yeah, there was two of
So you
us.
had to-
So there was three of us, you know what I mean? Which
Alright.
is, you know, that was a good thing, you know. And then you get to the prison, and everyone now sits, like you got to squat down. So they start, you know, how first is like everybody under 18, hands up, you know. So I was about to put my hand up, and my homie was like, he looked at me and he was like, you know, and I kept my hand down. And then after he counted all the kids, and they were like, okay, all of you stand up, off you go to juvenile. And they all got shipped to juvenile. And boom. So afterwards, my homie was like, hey, dude, you don't want to go to juvie.
You don't want that.
Juvenile.
You don't want that smoke.
Juvenile is worse. You know, juvenile is worse because all the predators and
Everyone is there.
they pay to go in, and like
they're trying to get, you know what I mean?
get,
He paid to get some of you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
Even
what I
the
mean?
guards.
I like the one with the long.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It's like a hunting ground in
It's
there.
a hunting ground. Oh,
You know?
okay. So that was
So
kind of
I escaped going into juvie. So I went into the main big boy prison now. You know? And yeah. So anyway, man, like, yeah, so it was tough. It was tough. You know, first because we were colored, so we got put in the colored section. And you know, only to find out after a few days that the Caledons were not very nice guys. Yeah, let's have those nice. You got some nice shoes there. Let's get
nice
some.
shoes,
Can get some nice drags for those shoes.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, then.
I like your shoes. They're looking very nice. So just take them off yourself.
Let's get some drags. So I was like, oh no, you know what, man? No, I got some money coming in a couple of days. Buy all the drugs. We party hard, man. Don't worry about that. The shoes are nothing. Don't worry. I'm gonna sort you out. Like, okay. 2 days. Oh, we smoked the shoes.
Yeah, I know. That's all. So all this happened.
So yeah. So I was like, dude, we gotta get the hell out of here. So you know, we ended up moving in with some other gangsters, the 26ers, because there's 28s, 26ers. You know. So a friend of mine knew somebody, and he was like, yo, man, we cool. I got my crew there. You know, we cool. So boom, we went there, and so now when we get into this one cell, right, and there's these big dudes, it's like these are black dudes, you know, but the leader is an Indian guy, you know. So I was wondering, how does this dynamic work? You know, this Indian dude must be bad, bro.
Fear the man.
Yeah. So anyway, so we introducing ourselves, and one of the dudes is like, "Yo, man, you look familiar, man. Aren't you a rapper?" So I'm like, "Yeah." It's like Peace of Ebony, and I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Hey, this dude is a rapper. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, so bust a rhyme, you know?"
You gotta bust a rhyme.
Bro. You know,
I mean,
it's like,
some Ramshan like
dude, the freestyle, homie, the freestyle, dude. I wasn't just freestyling. I was rapping for my life, bro.
Something's got to give.
You know?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I was like, I even remember how I was like, me and, because I'm like, hey, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Billy, they got their names. So I was like, and his name was Billy the Kid. You know,
Billy the Kid.
This is Billy. The guy that said, "Hey, this is a rapper." His name was Billy the Kid. So Billy the Kid. I was like, okay, me and my crew sitting in jail, wondering if we ever gonna make the bail. Sun City is hard. You know how it is, like the Wild Wild West with Billy the Kid.
And everyone knew Billy the Kid. He was the problem. He was the problematic guy.
Billy the Kid was Billy
the Kid was a problem.
Yeah, there was a dope dude, man. He was a G. He was an OG, bro. And he was like, yo, man, that's tight, bro. Yo, you guys, man, you here? Nobody gonna touch you, man. You with us, man, for real. Hey, yo, bro, please, can you teach me how to rap like that, bro? So I was like, dope, man. No sweat, man. I'll teach you how to rap. So from then on, we were in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, protection.
Yeah, protection.
Your rhyme saved your life.
Yeah. So anyway, man, you know, my parents had to eventually, after about 2 weeks, they came from Zim, and they got me a good lawyer, and I was in there for a month, and then my lawyer got me out. It's like, hey, yo, our guy was not involved. He was just a visitor. He's not from here. Wow, wow.
You're the gangster, whole gangster.
Yeah.
You had to prove, of course.
Yeah, I mean, because
technicality, if you were a drug dealer or not.
Yeah,
you had to prove that.
But I mean, they wanted me to roll over and snitch on my boys, but I didn't do that. So yeah,
we all know the rules.
So I just had to wait, and then my lawyer managed to get me out without any. Okay. You know, he was just like, nah, this dude is not from here. He's just a visitor. Get him out.
All right.
You know. So yeah. So got out, went back in the game, because now I'm addicted to the game. I'm addicted to the high life. You know what I'm saying? My parents went back to Zim. I managed to convince them that no, I'm not going to do it. I'm strictly my music, but I went back to it. And you know, obviously we're doing the music here and there, but now we've gone into that kind of category of just rappers that hustling for gigs here, there, wow. We don't have the record company behind us. So, you know,
you're just doing whatever you have to do to
survive. And we gigging what until really things, the gangster life really started getting real, you know what I mean? And a couple of times guns almost popped off, and I had guns to my head, I had guns pointed at me, I had threats, I had whatever. Cops they knew me now and all that. So I was like, nah, it's time to go back crib. You know, this is getting out of hand. So I came back to Zimbabwe, you know. And man. Back in Zim.
So in naturality, you had gone to body people with your rhymes, but you don't want to come back in a body bag. You don't want to come back in a body bag.
Yeah, exactly.
And now, from secular music to hip hop gospel.
Yes.
That transition.
Yes.
Give it to me. With the Zimbabwean people.
Right. Right. So about 4 years ago, going on to 5 years now. Yeah. I'm now like, I'm a has-been.
All right.
I'm an alcoholic. I'm a drug addict. You know, I'm on the streets. You know,
you're just cruising for bruising all the time.
Yeah.
Just doing things.
Yeah. You know. So I people when they talk about me, hey, do you know this song? This song used to be a star, bro. You know what I mean?
It's that word. It's that word used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, you know, obviously you're high, but I think sometimes when you're now just chilling and you're like, but word, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, because when, you know, we grew up watching, you know what I mean? We grew up watching Chihota, Meta, you know what I mean? And for me, it's a 360 because we grew up watching you. And then today, you know, we've worked with the Chihota legacy, worked with Meta, and now I'm sitting here with you. By comparison, you guys came out and you gave Zimbabwe something, and today I'm sitting here with you and you're saying it doesn't, and it's not what people thought it was about.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
you see the glamorous life, you
Yeah.
see all these things. And rest of soul, obviously, Brenda was in the same situation.
Yeah.
And she kind of like also lost some of her things, you know. And now we're here and we're talking about.
So about 5 years ago, I'm outside my neighborhood shops, and I'm doping in the middle of the day. You know, I'm high.
You're high.
And I bumped into this friend, this white dude that I hadn't seen for a while. We went to primary school together.
All right.
So bumped into each other. It's like, hey, oh, is that you? Is that you, Tony? So I'm like, yeah, man. Hey, yo, check this out. So where have you been? What you been up to? So I start telling him about I'm a rapper, this, that, you know what I mean? And I start freestyling and da-da-da, because that's at that stage, that's what I used to do. You know, you get high and you start rapping for people. You know they're going to buy you drinks. You know they're going to, you know what I mean? You're going to get some cash or whatever, get some kind of, you know what I mean, attention, and that's how you survive, you know? So I do that whole routine, whatever, and my homie gives me whatever for old time's sake, you know.
Yeah, catch a drink,
you know, whatever. No, he didn't buy me drinks. He bought me groceries, which I sold afterwards for drinks.
I was about to say he's a good friend. You sold the groceries.
You know.
Did you hear this?
Yeah. I mean, I'm really down and out at this stage, man. I'm you know, and yeah, off he goes. 2 days later, I'm at the same place doing the same thing. And it's a bit earlier, so I'm not that high yet or whatever. So this friend comes again and he's like, hey, Tony. So I'm like, at first I'm like, and then just the look on his face, I realized, no, this guy is actually here to see me, you know. So he comes up and he's like, yo, man, do you mind if we, you know, talk? So I was like, yeah, sure, man. So get up and we take a walk to his car and, you know, chills. And then he says to me, yo, listen, man, you know, I haven't been able to stop thinking about you, you know. So I was like, you know, he's like, what's really going on in your life, dude? You know what I mean? And you know, what can we do about it?
All right,
dude. Those just the way he said it, the way he looked at me.
He was concerned. He's there, and he's like, I've come back twice, fam.
Yeah.
I bought you groceries, but I had, and I think also because if you grew up together, there's that timeline, right? And then there's that alignment at some point, because you remember you guys were in primary school together.
Yes. So we maybe bumped into each other a couple of times as teenagers. Maybe I was Peace of Ebony. I was on a high, whatever, you know, and then see each other fast forward 20, 30 years later, whatever. He's
sitting in his car and he's saying, bro.
You know, not in his car at that time. I wasn't the type that you'd really want to invite into your car at those days.
Battery gone. But I was just, Tony!
You know,
Tony!
He just stood outside his car and he rapped, you know. So anyway, he was like, dude, and he just said it, you know, and what can we do about it?
Oh, I see.
You know, and, you know, like you said, there's that moment in time, you know, when the heavens open or whatever happens, that cosmic, you know, and, you know, now I know, obviously, that God,
there is a God,
you know, at that moment opened up my heart and my soul. And dude, I just opened up to this guy, man, you know. I just, you know, told him straight, bro, like dropped all the pretense, told him, hey, yo, man, my life is in a mess, you know.
To the toilet.
Yeah, bro, like, you know, I've lost everything, you know what I'm saying? This is where I'm at. This is da 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 da. ABC to Z. So he was like, yo, man, so have you tried going to church? You know? No, first he asked me, have you tried to go to rehab? So I was like, dude, if I had money for rehab, I probably would have gone a long time ago, you know? Because I mean, I had tried once, you know, twice, many times before, but never just failed. So I was like, hey, dude, if I had the bucks, I would have gone. You know. So he was like, okay, all right. And what about church? So I was like, Sat, those ones are all about sheets. They just want money. Da da da. No, I ain't going out like that. Da 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 da.
They want my type.
You know, like how you are when you like,
you're trying to just like run away.
Yeah.
So all this happens. Boom, bang, bang. Bing, you left secular, you're now doing gospel, hip hop. And today we're sitting here and this is a story for other people who are now going to be inspired, because we're going to watch this and be like, oh, I didn't know that what happened to it, you know, A Peace of Ebony.
Yeah.
But now let's fast forward a little bit before we leave the Zimbabwean people with the daily brand. Nhumbi. What is this about? Let's get to that. Give it because you're wearing it, and obviously the label of all labels, the goat of all goats,
Yes.
Faithwear is involved in this.
So
talk to me.
So this guy, this friend of mine who I'm talking to, who I ended up going to church with him, and I ended up going into rehab, which I did here at home.
All right.
Because I managed to tell my parents at the time that I'm serious about this. Yeah. So they said, no, do it here at home. What rehab do you need? This is a rehab. Yeah. So I go into rehab, and in rehab I write my book. I start writing my book, because now I'm reflecting on my life. It's part of therapy. You get a journal and you start writing and da. So I start writing, and next thing I write a book. The same guy. His name that's actually Brett Van Rooyen. He's the owner of Faithwear and the founder of Faithwear.
All right.
Yeah, that's the friend of mine that I'm talking about.
Right. Yeah,
so
guy, yeah.
So he used to come like twice a week, and on Sundays after church, and come and and because COVID broke out while I was in rehab.
Oh, okay.
I just started going to church and rehab, and it's closed.
Breaks out.
Yeah. So he was coming after church and praying, and I was doing the Alcoholics Anonymous steps and what, and that's how I managed to do my rehab and then write my book. And that was like whole therapeutical process that lasted about 6 months. And so I come out of rehab, and I also have an idea about starting, I start doing fashion, like,
I want your pants. I'm going to be like those ones. Hey, just run me these jeans, bro.
I got you. We got you, man. We got you. Brand ambassador.
Yeah, brand ambassador.
You know how it is. For real, man. You do your thing. So I come up with Nhumbi, at first it was native Nhumbi.
All right. And
then cut it short. Because the whole Peace of Ebony from the Native Tongue was our album, and always wanted to do something that's cross hip hop and cross African, Right.
Yeah, but you still got the N, eh?
Yeah. So at first it was native Nhumbi, then thought, drop the native, and then just Nhumbi.
And this is us, the Africanism of A Peace of Ebony.
Yes, that cross between hip hop and an African flavor. That's what. Yeah.
So this looks like headphones to me.
Yeah, they are headphones.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think
it's like this dope, futuristic African warrior type with the headphones on, just doing his thing. Homeboy's just chilling.
So we've got this, and I understand you're doing some projects though.
Yes. So it all kind of ties together.
All right.
It's a whole universe of stuff that I do. So with Brett, decided to do a collaboration, Nhumbi and Faithwear. So when you see Nhumbi, you always see Faithwear. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Nhumbi by Faithwear. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's out in the stores right now. And the motto of Nhumbi is "Wear your courage."
Okay.
So it's built off my experiences and my kind of mindset and my path in life, my journey. So with Nhumbi, it's like wear your courage, and it's supposed to tell all the youth, like, when you wear Nhumbi, it's a mindset, it's a way of life, it's a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You've got the courage to say no to the drugs, whatever adversity is coming at you and the pressures are trying to pull you down. You got the courage to stand up to it. You know what I mean? And that's the Nhumbi lifestyle mindset. My book as well deals with eventually how I managed to have this rebirth, and trying to find Christ, and So we decided, like, okay, what do we do now? We start making the music. Like, I've changed my whole, like, I'm rapping with a purpose now. I make music with a purpose now.
All right.
Because I know that whatever gifts you've got in life, you can either use it for destructive reasons, or you can use it for productive reasons and to better your community, to better yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So with the music, with my testimony and my book, with Nhumbi, it's just a whole thing that the kids and the community and the people can get back, back it up and just be behind it. And because it covers so many spheres of life, from fashion, from literature, to music, to dance. I got some real dancers now. You should meet them and do a choreography for us.
No doubt, no doubt.
And last year teamed up with Say What, sponsored by West Property. I did a tour of universities, and we went around and I just did my testimony now comes in with the music and the performance and the book reading and the dance and the fashion. So
say what that's Jonathan, eh? Jonathan. Say what the one in Hatfield, yeah? They have these programs that they do.
Yes.
557, something like that.
It's our student NGO run by students for students.
For students, so all these things, we're now here. What do people have to expect from you before we wrap up? What are the Zimbabwean people looking forward to in terms of Tony Chihota?
Okay, so the future is bright. Just started an organization called Kutanga.
Okay. So
the beginning. My book is
course.
called The Beginning. Kutanga, which is an organization that deals with all of these, outreach, just getting the awareness happening,
cool.
And just dealing with people with the same kind of problems. It's about prevention as well. So we're out there, we're going out there to the communities, to the schools, to the universities, letting them know that, look, this is what my life was like, and this is what it is now. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And this is how you can avoid falling into these traps, like how I did, and and you can actually imagine a life that's full of potential. So that's what we're doing. So we've got plans on now doing the high schools and getting out there and really taking it to the high schools now, because the university was dope, but now we've got to go even younger, because the high schools are
catch them young.
Yes, exactly. The high schools are in big trouble. So that's my next focus for the next 2 years.
All right.
Obviously a whole lot of material coming out, music. So Kutanga, the organization, is coming out. Nhumbi is coming. It's already in the stores, the Faithwear stores. The book is on Amazon, so you can buy the ebook. And I just released the audiobook, which I narrated.
Okay, you narrate. Oh, okay.
So I narrated the audiobook, and it's a musical, so it's actually got the soundtrack to my life. All the Peace of Ebony music is there. My old music, my new music comes in as I tell the story, and every song has
something. It has a story to tell.
And when you hear it in that context, it sounds it's not just listening to a song that you know. When you hear it within the context of the story, it just opens up a whole new dimension. So the audiobooks just come out, and that's what I'm going to be going and introducing that into the high schools and all that. So that's what we got to look forward to.
All right. Thank you, Tony Chihota, for your time, brother.
Thank you, Jay.
Let me sign out. So everybody, Tony was in prison for a reason. He was on the summit of things, and then one day he decided, let me bring it down to the plummet. And today he has Nhumbi, he has Faith, thanks to Brent. And thank you very much, because he also gave us one of our chances to perform at Faithwear, which was we used to do it in Avondale.
Yes.
Yeah, my best friend used to work there.
Yes.
So look, the man from Faithwear has always been doing great work, not only with rappers but with dancers. Today we're done for the Daily Brand. Like we said, we bring the daily hustle to the people who love the brands. And with the brand, can you just hand us that jacket, please? Like someone can hand us that jacket.
Yeah, let's see how we look in that.
You know what I mean? You got to be talking about, you got to walk the talk.
Yeah, so these are the bomber jackets, the Faithwear.
It's winter.
Celebrating the 30th Faithwear anniversary
as you can
too.
See, Nhumbi.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is
Put it on, man. Put it on. Let's see how you look, bro.
I'll walk off set with this.
And walk that was the last time.
That's the last time.
J. Cole.
Right? Except, but I'm taking your jacket.
I'm gonna smoke the jacket.
Gotta smoke the jacket. See, I look.
That's what I'm talking about.
Suave.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Nhumbi, Tony Chihota, John Cole. See you guys. One love. A Piece of Ebony. A Piece of Tony Chihota. Get the beginning. Kutanga. See you soon.
Check out the new single, Take Off.
Peace out. Daily Brand.